Welcome back to yet another exciting video in our Norse mythology series. In the majestic land of Asgard, a child was born who would become the most beloved of all the gods, a being of such purity and light that even his birth was heralded by the warm glow of the sun. This child was Balder, the son of Odin and Frigg, and from the moment he entered the world, he was cherished by all. His mother saw in him a shining hope for the future, and his father recognized the strength of spirit in him. The very presence of Balder brought joy and peace to the nine realms. He grew to be a god of great beauty and grace, his presence a source of light and hope among the Aesir. He was known for his kindness, wisdom, and fairness, always seeking peace and understanding in the world mostly torn by conflict. The gods admired him for his virtues, and mortals worshipped him as a protector and bringer of good fortune. Yet, despite his seemingly perfect life, dark omens began to cast shadows over his future. Though Balder was the embodiment of light, he was haunted by dreams of darkness. Night after night, he dreamt of his own death, visions of a shadowy figure and a world plunged into mourning. These dreams troubled him deeply, and though he tried to hide his fear, it was evident to those who loved him. His mother grew especially concerned, for she knew that in the world of the gods, dreams foretold the future. Determined to protect her beloved son, Frigg sought to ensure that nothing in the world could harm Balder. She traveled far and wide, extracting solemn oaths from every living and non-living thing, binding them never to bring harm to the god of light. Stones, trees, metals, animals, fire, and even disease, all swore to keep Balder safe. When she returned to Asgard, she believed she had secured her son's safety, but one entity, small and seemingly insignificant, had escaped her notice. Among the gods, there was one who did not share in the joy that Balder brought. Loki was filled with envy and malice, unable to bear the sight of Balder's light. In his heart, a dark plan began to form. While Frigg had ensured that almost nothing could harm her son, she had overlooked one small thing, the mistletoe, a plant too young and insignificant to be seen as a threat. Loki, however, knew of this oversight and sought to exploit it. During a gathering of the gods, where they reveled in Balder's invulnerability, Loki approached Hoder, the blind god, and placed a sprig of mistletoe in his hand. With a whisper of deceit, he guided Hoder's hand and watched as the unthinkable unfolded. In that moment of tragedy, the light of the gods was extinguished. The mistletoe, guided by Loki's malice, struck Balder, piercing his heart. The god of light and hope fell, and with him, the joy of Asgard. The gods were overcome with grief, unable to comprehend the loss of their beloved. The halls of Asgard, once filled with laughter and light, were now shrouded in sorrow. The death of Balder cast a long shadow over the realms. Frigg's heart was broken, and Odin, though ever strong, was filled with sorrow. The gods prepared a grand funeral for Balder, placing his body on a magnificent ship filled with treasures and flowers. As the ship was set ablaze and drifted into the sea, the flames reflected the deep mourning of the gods. Even the earth itself wept, for Balder's death signaled the beginning of the end. The death was not just the loss of a beloved god, it was the harbinger of doom. The light that he brought to the world was gone, and in its place, darkness began to creep in. The gods knew that his death marked the beginning of Ragnarok, the prophesied end of the world. Loki, the architect of this tragedy, slithered back into the shadows, knowing that the chaos he had set in motion could not be stopped. The gods, once united in joy, now stood divided by grief, preparing for the inevitable war that would tear the universe apart. Though Balder was taken from the world, his legacy survived. He remains a symbol of hope and light, a reminder that even in the darkest times, the goodness and love cannot be extinguished. As the gods prepared for the final battle of Ragnarok, they held on to the belief that one day, Balder's light would return, and the world would be reborn from the ashes. Until that day, his story lives on, a beacon of light in the myths of the Norse. Thank you for watching, and let's meet in the next chapter, as we explore other events that contributed to the end of the world. Ragnarok. See you then.